Hey, welcome in everybody. It's Elvis workshop time again. How exciting. Well, all right, it's just kind of mediocre exciting, but I'm back with a couple of things. I've had to take a couple weeks off because I've been, once again, too busy. I've been doing a lot of traveling and spending time with friends and just keep myself too busy to do anything really. But I picked up a few nice pieces and I kind of wanted to do a video about the Record Store Day release and talk about that and some of the new FTD releases that have come out. I got a couple of interesting pieces here. I found something, I ran across something I have never seen before, and I picked it up. That's the best time to buy something, is when you've never seen it before. So found something, picked it up, and I thought, oh my God, I've got to show this in the video. So today, and it's a nice companion piece, kind of a little bit with some of the other stuff I have up here. But at first I want to talk about the wall, which you can't really see too much of. You can only see a little bit right there. But I kind of redid the wall in here. I'm going to show you a little bit of this. I had a piece up there that I kind of liked. I was gifted this piece by a friend years ago, but I was never really thrilled with it because it was a replica piece. And so I finally took it down. And what I replaced it with is, you can see the bottom corner of it up there. I was in Tupelo, Mississippi recently at a place called Relics, which is a antique store now. It used to be a fabric place of some sort. I don't know exactly what they did, but Billy Stallings made a video about this place. Otherwise, I would have never known about it. Gladys Presley worked there when the Presleys lived in Tupelo, but it's an antique store there in Tupelo now. And I'm walking through and I see this picture, and I knew right away, obviously it was a Wertheimer picture. It's not my favorite picture that he took of Elvis. My favorite one is the motorcycle one up there that I'll show you right here. But I saw this picture and I knew immediately I had to have this thing. It's autographed by Alfred Wertheimer. I did get a chance to meet him. I did not get a photo with him. I chose not to that day. It's a long story, but I did not get a photo with him or an autograph. But I did meet him, and I saw this photo and I thought I have to have it. So I bought it, shipped it back here. So now it's up on the wall. So I like the way it looks. I'll show you a picture of it. And I've got a couple of other pieces up there, some Johnny Cash stuff. But anyway, I wanted to talk really about the Record Store Day release. This right here, the Elvis Burning Love. I know that you've probably seen other videos of it, or you might have one, so I'm not going to pull it all apart and open it up and all that stuff. I had a hard time getting it. I'm going to show you a picture right here from me standing in line in Record Store Day here in Las Vegas at Record City. It's my favorite record store here in town. The story was that I knew that they ordered it, but I didn't know how many. It turned out they ordered one. I walked in. I finally got in to the store. I walked in. I looked to the left, and I could see it up on the wall. And I asked the clerk, Joey, can you please hand me that record? I didn't think anything of it. He said, no. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, you got to go through the line. I looked to the right, and the whole store, there's a line wrapped all the way around. I didn't realize it. I thought that once you got into the store, if you could see something, you could get it. Didn't work out that way. So I stood in line for about 35 minutes trying to make my way around the store, and I'm waiting, and all of a sudden, it's gone. So I went to a couple of other record stores looking for it, to no avail. Couldn't find it. So I ended up having to wait a couple weeks, but I did end up scoring a copy. Then I walked into a place just yesterday, and one of the places I went that day that didn't have it, I walked in yesterday, and there were two of them. So I was told from Record City, different place than yesterday, that they were no longer available for reorder. So I was a little surprised to see them yesterday. Anyway, so it sounds great. There is the reoccurring issue with Ronnie Tutt missing on the credits. I believe it has to do with the previous release, a copy and paste job. So, you know, I could sit here and complain about it, and I would, because I like to nitpick things like that because I have a problem with lack of attention to detail like that. But I thought about it, and I realized it was a continuation error, probably, more than likely. I'm speculating here, but a continuation error from the previous release. It had just come out, and that it's forgivable. And I'll tell you why it's forgivable. Is that we have a lot to not complain about, and yet we do complain about a lot. So I just thought, you know, the artwork is great, the sound on it is great. I'm happy with the overall release. Is it disappointing that Ronnie was omitted 2 releases in a row? Absolutely. But there are other artists that don't get near the product that we get as Elvis fans. So I think not to give them leeway where they shouldn't have it, but maybe we complain a little bit too much sometimes. So I'm not thrilled about that, but it doesn't take away from the release so much that I wouldn't have it. So I'm actually really happy to have it. I did listen to the entire thing twice. Love it. Sound is great on it, and it just booms really nicely. The one question I have, which is really strange, and I don't know, maybe somebody watching this video can explain to me or give me a reason. It's a double album set, all rehearsals, and then the very last track is a live version of How Great Thou Art. Totally unexplained, totally out of the blue, totally left field, that does not fit at all. So anybody have an idea why? I'd love some feedback on that. So the piece that I found, sorry, I just popped my mic. I doesn't leave it in there anyway. So the piece that I just found, real quick too, I wanted to remind everybody about this old bootleg release, Hillcrest Blues, with the same cover art as Burning Love Record Store Day, and some of the same material, by the way. But this is a really nice companion piece with all the other stuff that I have up there. And though the Elvis on Tour movie hasn't been officially re-released like we want, it's just theatrically released with cleaned up picture. This is a lot of product for one movie that's out, right? So I want the Elvis on Tour package to be put out properly the way that we all as fans want it put out too. But look at all this stuff, and I don't have half of what is actually out there. There's all kinds of stuff that's not even up here. So when I was setting up this video shoot, I thought, man, we complain a lot, and I have all kinds of stuff from this movie. So it just occurred to me that maybe we kind of bitch a little bit too much. Anyway, so I picked up a couple pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power of editing right here, and I'm going to show you. I picked up an Elvis on Tour backstage pass. I believe this one is used. The reason I say that is it's missing the bottom half where it says building personnel. It says Elvis on Tour, but this one over here is the exact same tour badge, but the building personnel is intact, and that one it's missing. So I'm thinking it may have gotten ripped off. So those two backstage passes I have, I've had this one for a little while, just picked this one up. But the thing I mentioned earlier that I wanted to tell you about, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm just thinking of all the different things I wanted to talk about, is I walked into another antique store here the other day, and I looked into this one cabinet that's really good for having Las Vegas casino vintage items. And I found this right here, which I'm just going to show you instead of picking it up. And I knew right away what it was. It's a valet ticket for the International Hotel. And I've showed this to quite a few big collector friends that I have. Nobody has ever seen one before. And when I saw it, I thought, oh, wow, I have never, ever seen this. I've got to have this right away. It was locked in a case. So I picked it up. That is a cool piece. If you've ever seen one or if you have one, let me know. I think that's pretty cool. That's very nice. Anyway, so a couple other things real quick. I just found this too at Record City. This is a bootleg called Golden Star Volume 15. And I'd never seen this either, so I picked it up too. So I'll give you a close-up shot of that too. Pretty cool looking. Anyway, it has nothing to do with Elvis on Tour at all. I just picked it up the other day, and I just wanted to share it in the video. So I want to briefly talk about the two Follow That Dream releases that just came out, and then I'm going to be done for today. So just a real quick video here. I just kind of wanted to talk about the Record Store Day release and how frustrating it was to not be able to get it. And then I did end up getting it, and then talk about the product that we have available to us from Elvis on Tour. So I think we've done that. So Blue Hawaii and Madison Square Garden, I passed on both. I do support the label. I don't burn copies of it and not purchase it. I purchase real copies. You guys know that from all my previous videos. I passed on the Madison Square Garden just because of the redundancy. It's the same thing to me as Prince from Another Planet. There's not enough change in it to make it worth buying for me personally. I've heard positives about the sound, and I've heard a lot of negatives about the sound. Reverb added where there shouldn't be. The press conference, there's an issue with that CD. So I'm actually very happy that I passed on that one. And then the Blue Hawaii, the Can't Help Falling in Love tapes were missing, so it was sourced from a needle drop on a bootleg. And the sound is far inferior to where it should have been. And the price point was just a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to wait on the Blue Hawaii and pick up the CD package that's due out later this year, possibly early next year. I don't know when it's coming out, honestly. I don't know anything I just know it's going to be a while because they just released the box sets. They're not going to put the CD set out right behind it. They want to let some time go by, I'm sure. So I don't know anything that you don't know, but I'm just going to guess it's later in the year or possibly early next year. So I'll be getting that just because it's there, but I'm going to pass on the book project. So anyway, some cool pieces today. I hope you guys like looking at some of this stuff. It's fun for me just as a collector to be walking through an antique store or some kind of shop and see something I've never seen before and pick it up. I love to find those things, to score them, and then also share them with the people that like watching these videos. So Relics in Tupelo, Mississippi. If you're in Tupelo, hit up Relics. Really nice, friendly staff, really cool stuff. There's lots of Elvis items in there. And if you're ever out in Las Vegas, I can always tell you the antique stores to go to, but I have to go first just to check first, make sure there's nothing good there. Then I'll let you know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's taken so long to put one up. I have a lot going on every day. I really do. So I hope you like this video. Tell your friends, watch them, pass them on, forward them, all that stuff. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Actually, I do. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. See you later.